Hello everybody, welcome back. So if you hadn't heard, Rec Room recently did an AMA, which stands for Ask Me Anything, in case you live under a rock. Gribbly, who is Rec Room's creative director, answered a ton of questions about what's happening with the game, and oh my goodness, you guys might not like some of these answers. Be sure to use code Tara in Rec Room to help support my channel if you find this video enlightening. And for now, let's get into it. Question number 1. When are we getting a new Rec Room quest? Probably never. I'm sorry guys, my dreams are crushed too. If I have to play Golden Trophy in that harsh, unforgiving 2016 quest lighting that looks worse than the fluorescence in a public mall bathroom one more time, I will scream. Okay, I'm just being melodramatic, it's not that bad. But anyway, Gribbly's response to being asked why it's been 5 years since a new quest was released was as follows. We would love to be able to make one, but we can't afford to right now. The focus going forward is on leveling up tools for creators to build this type of stuff for the community themselves. He goes on to say that the recent Ninja Turtles Adventure Quest thing was also built with tools available to current creators, and it's not quite the same as a new Rec Room original, but it's getting there. I know this is disappointing news to hear, and most of us share the same sentiment, which is that we'd really love to see replayable Rec Room originals that add on to the ideas and themes of older quests. After all, Golden Trophy and Jumbotron and the rest of them are very nostalgic for us at this point, and we've played them to death. For now, sounds like we'll just have to settle by replaying our favorites and waiting a few more years. Question 2. When is Rec Room coming to PSVR 2? It's not happening. This one shocked me. Gribbly was somber in responding to a question about PSVR 2 support as he wrote, "There's no current plans to bring Rec Room to that platform. We looked into it and it just doesn't make economic sense. It sucks, but we can't justify the cost based on the numbers." I feel bad for everyone who upgraded from PSVR 1 to the 2nd gen headset and now can't play Rec Room on it. That has to suck. Out of curiosity, I googled it and less than 1 million headsets have sold so far, reported Sony. This is compared to the Quest 2, which has had over 20 million headsets sold. So I guess I can kind of see why Rec Room hasn't put in the immense effort to port the game over to such a small market of users. Again, it sucks, but I'd rather Rec Room go the business sustainability route than make expensive choices to appease a tiny group. So if you're a PSVR 2 user, you can just chuck that paperweight in the garbage can and go get a meta headset if you like Rec Room that much. Number 3. When are the current Rec Room originals getting a makeover? Sense a theme here yet? That's right, there are no plans for this. Gribbly stated that the current focus is on building Rec Room originals with the same tools that creators have access to. At least he admits he knows people do want a Jumbotron 2 or sequels to quite a few RROs. He's pragmatic, not out of touch, I'll give him that. I'm not mad at his response here actually. Rome wasn't built in a day, I get that, and he doesn't rule out the possibility of this happening. I interpret his answer as, someday, once all of this other hard work on improving the game is out of the way, we'll consider it. Actually, that kind of reminds me of when you go ask your mom for something and she says, maybe, but go ask your dad, and then you go ask your dad hoping for a different response, but he says it's all up to your mom. So by then, you kind of realize the answer is no. We'll likely never see Golden Trophy 2 or a new Rec Royale map. I kind of think they just want us to make them. So creators out there, get good. Because you have access to procure games like Make It to Midnight, so apparently it's on you to make me another Rec Royale island to enjoy. I'm being facetious, of course. It's really not that easy or straightforward. And with current algorithms promoting clicker and daycare maps, we all know that even if you could make something as crazy as a new Rec Royale map, right now it would probably just get 200 visits and get buried under Ignited FNAF Clicker Simulator Daycare 1234. When did I get so pessimistic? I swear. I think what Gribbly is trying to say though is that it's much more economical for the game to just give the tools to the creators than it is to spend so much money making the Rec Room originals themselves at a glacial pace. What's that expression? Give a man a fish and he eats for a day. Teach a man to fish, and I forget the rest. Number 4. Why are low-effort rooms still running rampant? The question on everyone's mind. The hot tab seems to be curated specifically to 7-year-olds, and if you visit some of these maps, you will see nothing but 7-year-olds. Are they on junior accounts? Nope, they're running around babbling to themselves and not making much sense, as the creators of these low-effort rooms cash out thousands of dollars, quite literally laughing to the bank, as the rest of us roll our eyes at the current map quality being highlighted in the play tab. Gribbly admits that this is a balancing act. Wait, why does that sound strangely like something a politician would say? Apparently, these things work off engagement signals, and when mass amounts of 5-year-olds hang out in daycare maps for hours at a time, it signals that the map should soar to the hot tab. Gribbly insinuates that, to the 5-year-olds, daycare clicker simulators are high quality, and the rest of us should pander to that by admitting that art is subjective. However, he also offers us some sympathy, stating that customized carousels will soon be rolling out en masse, and that while this side of the game won't be disappearing anytime soon, mature people won't have to have it thrust in their faces as much. Which is a relief. Question number 5. Why doesn't Rec Room fix bugs or listen to the community? Someone got bold enough to ask the question on a lot of creators' minds. Why don't you guys listen to the community anymore? I got my popcorn out reading the response from Gribbly. Mad props to him for not shying away from the difficult questions. We need more of this candor from Rec Room staff, seriously. It's extremely imperative to diffuse the anger that people have when they see programs cut and no answers in return. Gribbly took this criticism in stride and admitted that they need to do better in responding to inquiries and being more transparent. He also said he wants to make sure he answers correctly before answering answering it all, which makes sense. In addition, something super important being mentioned in his response is the gigantic pivot in Rec Room's company mantra. Instead of ready, fire, aim, which means let's just get this out before we get it perfect, they're now reverting back to a more responsible approach, which is iteration is quality. This means taking the time to get it right. If you don't understand, this probably means we'll be getting less updates and things released, but hopefully they'll also be less full of bugs, and therefore our Rec Room quality of life should increase. I personally have been screaming at my monitor lately when every fourth time I boot the game, my dorm gets a load screen of death. Or I spawn into my dorm in VR and for some random reason I can't move. Or when I try to take my friends to a Rec Room Studio map and everyone on Quest 2 standalone loads in, but me on PSVR just crashes. It's hard to not get frustrated, so I'm really hoping this is the year that they can improve on these things. Number 6. When are weekly challenges returning? Weekly challenges have become monthly challenges, and trust me, no one has enjoyed getting used to saying, sure, enjoy the monthly. No, just no. When one Reddit user pointed out that it's been a year since this new system, which was implemented as a gap before a better system could be implemented, Gribbly admitted that things weren't looking so bright. The weekly has become a hot potato, a ragdoll nobody wants, blowing around like a lawn chair in a tornado that can't find its way home. Sorry, I just like random metaphors and similes. But to the point, even though Gribbly says the weekly isn't as popular as we think, tell that to the diehard VR players, they're not giving up. Eventually something is going to happen. It's been assigned to a new team who is buried in other work, but let's not lose hope. When the weekly returns, hopefully triumphant, I'm hoping that more Rec Room originals or community maps are included in the challenges. I'm tired of taking turns with my friends to grind dodgeball and paintball hits, so fingers crossed. Number 7. Will Rec Room keep reselling contest items in the storefront? Something most people might never have noticed, but I guarantee that contest winners noticed, was the reappearance of a very similar item in a recent storefront that previously only existed if you want to build contests. One Reddit user asked if Rec Room was going to continue to make these and why they even felt this was a good idea to begin with. Gribbly stated that they don't technically sell contest items because they distinguish between recolors, rematerialed, and new items. The Bard shirt was revamped into the Solstice contest item, which was then revamped into a store item. For many creators, this small difference is not sufficient enough to feel like their contest item was special and unique anymore. I think this is pretty much a gray area. Honestly, the two Bards items are just so similar. I can see why the winners felt a bit infuriated. And it sounds like this may indeed happen again with more items in the future. Question 8. Why isn't the new Rec Room original My Little Monsters out yet? If you haven't heard, that's what the next Rec Room original is called, and it's pretty cute. For me personally, it's way more up my alley than something like Make It to Midnight. Feeding and caring for a pet is something I've been advocating for in Rec Room for a long time. I wish it had been dorm pets, but this is a great start and probably makes more logical sense. After all, no one wants to log in after a month away from Rec Room and find Fido, unalive in their dorm. Allegedly, there was supposed to be a demo released at the end of 2023, but it's been crickets. When asked why, Gribbly stated that there's still a ton of work to do to optimize My Little Monsters for release. Performance, frame rate, memory are all proving to be taking longer than anticipated. With the new motto being iteration is quality, clearly Rec Room is practicing what they now preach, and hopefully we get to find out more about this new game sooner rather than later. Question 9. Why are featured maps so watered down now? Something that's been plaguing small creators recently, well, besides all the program cuts and changes to room rewards and having featured creator of the week only go live in a sad, dusty corner of the rec center. Yeah, besides all those things, is that featured maps got moved to the last carousel on the very bottom of the play tab. When asked about this, Gribbly said that experiments showed people preferred seeing other recommendations besides featured maps overall, meaning they played more Rec Room when featured maps weren't shown. He promises that the game hasn't forgotten about ways to promote smaller creators and that they're working on some new discoverability methods. I really hope this is true because small creators had lost so much in 2022 and 2023 that they sound unmotivated. Well, that is, ones who make maps that take a lot of time and investment. The ones who have figured out how to game the current system are oddly silent because the current system works for them. Number 10. Why did Rec Room discontinue so many videos on their YouTube channel? I myself have been wondering this. Why the Rec Room channel is mainly crickets compared to its heyday in 2021. Once again, Gribbly points to a numbers game saying that the views just weren't there, but that this is just a pause, not a discontinuation of things like featured maps and AMAs. I sincerely hope he's not wrong because I really miss seeing the featured maps videos and AMAs. Anything Rec Room itself puts out on their main YouTube channel, I'll watch. I get that they might not get the most views in the world, but neither do some of my videos. But some of my most important videos for bonding with my fans and the community are those videos with lower views. Gribbly admits that too. He says he knows it's not just about the views. So come on, Rec Room, bring back those fun series that we all love to tune into. Okay, my Roomba vacuum Dustin is threatening to start sweeping in my room, so I'm gonna wrap this video up before he runs into my feet. If you didn't want to read through the entire AMA on Reddit, then I hope you enjoyed my condensed version. If you do want to read the whole post with Gribbly, I threw the link in the description below, and I hope you learned some new things about Rec Room today. You know what this reminds me of? Learning new things about Rec Room. Reminds me of another video I made about 56 facts about Rec Room. How many do you know? You'll have to watch the video on screen here to find out. We'll see you over there. Take care.